Here we go again with the Panasonic KX-TGD560. This one has 4 handsets. As mentioned in some of the previous videos, my aunt and uncle have recently moved away, and this was the set of telephones that was in their house. And the relative that was cleaning out their house said, "Hey, there's some cordless phones here, you want them?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" Never would have imagined that this was the set. Anyways, so here they are again. This is a really stinky phone. The model number, we already talked about that, but here's the informations. Made in Malaysia. So it just goes to show that you can get crummy products from just about anywhere nowadays. While of course I do not like made in China at all, there's a lot more to the cheap crummy product issue than just made in China. The location of manufacture is only a portion of the problem. There's corporate greed and cheap materials and bad engineering, and the list just goes on. Anyways, so here they are. Part of me is kind of curious because the other set is so bad. I have to wonder if it's defective, because the other reviews don't seem to have a problem. Like, I looked at all the reviews on Amazon, and while of course a lot of those probably come from the manufacturer or people that don't know what they're talking about, there really was not any major report of a problem with these phones. And I would certainly think that there would be quite a complaint if there were people that used the speakerphone. So I have the original instruction manual with these. They were purchased in 2017, looks like a 924, and they cost $89.99. So about $20 per handset, and that's one of the reasons why I've been comparing this to the Uniden DECT 1580 so much, because it sold for about $20 per handset as well. You know, with a small margin of error for inflation. So let's begin by calling these stinky phones. I think the ring is off on the one on the right, but let's just test it first.
Call from these phones stink. Call from these phones stink.
Okay, now it's recording a message, which I'm not really inclined to do right now. Really, the only really nice thing about these phones is that it seems like they brought back, I don't think it's exactly the same, but they brought back the old ringtone, which has been an icon for Panasonic for so many years. I remember hearing that ring all over the place, and then they went away from it for a while. So it's kind of curious to see that they have gone back to very similar sounds in recent times. Yeah, it's really quite close. Maybe a couple of hertz off, but it's really quite close. Oh, jeez. Well, these phones stink anyways.
These phones stink. Call from these phones stink. Call from these phones stink.
Okay, so they definitely all ring, okay, which is great. Now, let's see, is the bass ring on? Yeah, the bass ring is on. Yeah, it really is a shame that these stink because they have quite a broad feature set. Let's see if they ever put their cell phones in there. Oh, it says that. Oh, he did put his iPhone on there. Well, let's delete that out of there. I wish it was like, I don't know, July 12th, 19, before the media-generated mass hysteria ruled the world. This has 3 alarms on it, which is the most I've ever seen. They usually just have 1. In this case, I'm going to set it to manual because the simulator is going to keep throwing it off. Contrast is down a bit on this one.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Well, we'll start with that greeting. Let's see what kind of settings we got here. Go to 7 rings. I think that has to be adjusted per handset, the screening. Okay. Alright.
Answer on Friday, 4:21 p.m.
Looks like this one had a banner put onto it. So this would have been in the room where the Genoa was. Cheese. Cheese. Okay, so that should all be off now. Not sure if the base is going to screen it. It may. I don't know, we'll find out. Let's call this up.
Call from these phones stink. Call from these phones stink. Call from these phones stink.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
This is the first testing message to be recorded into these telephones. The answering machine seems to be okay. It's just the stinking pickup on speakerphone that's so bad. Okay, now we'll record a different greeting.
Record greeting after the beep.
Is the pickup bad on speakerphone while recording?
Is the pickup bad on speakerphone while recording?
It's not. And see, that's what really bothers me about this, is that it's a software issue. There's something not quite right about the software on this phone as far as the speakerphone's programming goes. I'm not sure what it is.
Record greeting after the beep.
You've reached the hardware store. Leave a message or we're not calling you back.
You've reached the hardware store. Leave a message or we're not calling you back.
Okay, let's see what that sounds like.
Call from these phones stink. 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 Call from these phones stink.
You've reached the hardware store. Leave a message or we're not calling you back.
The outgoing quality of the greeting is quite decent for a Digitan. Okay, let's play back the messages.
New messages.
This is the first testing message to be recorded into these telephones. The answering machine seems to be okay. It's just the stinking pickup on speakerphone that's so bad.
Friday, 4:24 p.m.
The outgoing quality of the greeting is quite decent for Digitan.
Friday, 4:26 p.m. End of final message.
There's a frequency range in there that's very, very harsh and loud. I'm not sure if that's the recording or the speaker. I think it's probably the recording because it kind of sounded like that on the testing, through the testing phone as well. Other than that, the clarity is, I would say it's actually above average for a Digitan machine. It's not bad at all, which is a shame because the rest of the phone is not good. Okay, so the answering machine seems to work just fine. I'm not exactly sure how these are accessed remotely, but I know there has been some request to do that, so let's see if I can figure it out. Let's play the messages on the handset as well.
All message playback.
This is the first testing message to be recorded into these telephones. The answering machine seems to be okay. It's just the stinking pickup on speakerphone that's so bad.
Friday, 4:26
4:24 p.m.
The outgoing quality of the greeting is quite decent for Ditch 10.
Friday, 4:26 p.m. End of final message.
Again, not bad. Not bad for the answering machine. Okay, so let's see if I can get into this remotely. I'm not sure if we'll be able to or not, but I'll try.
Call from these phones stink. 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 Call from these phones stink.
Hello. No new message.
Okay.
Press 1 to play back all messages. Press 2 for other functions. Press 1 to play back new messages. Press 2 for other functions. Press 1 to record your message. Press 2 for other functions.
Record outgoing or ingoing?
Please leave your message.
This is a test. I guess this is going in as a regular message. Can we do anything else? It doesn't seem like it. Guess we'll just have to hang up and call back. I don't think it hung up yet. Okay, it got a new message, so I recorded an incoming message.
Call from these phones stink. 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 Call from these phones stink.
1 new message. Press 1 to play back all messages. Press all message playback.
This is the first testing message to be recorded into these telephones. The answering machine seems to be okay. It's just the stinking pickup on speakerphone that's so bad.
Friday, 4:24 p.m.
The outgoing quality of the greeting is quite decent for Ditch 10.
Friday, 4:26 p.m.
This is a test. I guess this is going in as a regular message. Can we do anything else? It doesn't seem like it.
Friday, 4:30 p.m. End of final message. Press 1 to play back all messages. Press 1 to play back new messages. Press 1 to record your message. Press 1 to erase all messages. Press no message.
There should have been a confirmation
to play
there.
back all messages. Press 1 to play back new messages. Press 1 to record your message. Press 1 to erase all messages. Press 1 to play back all messages. Press 2 for other functions.
Okay, so somebody was saying in the other video that they were outraged by how you have to press 0 before the functions on the answering machine. That's awful. It takes forever to do anything on there, and it doesn't have a whole lot of functions either. I guess it could play back the messages, which is really all that's necessary, but still not the greatest. Although, considering the set we're talking about, should be no surprise. Okay, so let's go over to that outside line, and let's make an outside call. Go with that trash again. This one doesn't seem quite as bad as the other one, but it does the same stupid thing. Was it? It's amazing that it has that much feedback when it hardly picks up the voice. What an outright piece of junk. I think this is worse than the other set. I remember the waterproof phone being like this. I don't recall the handset sounding quite this bad. Not sure why it's not making the call. Hello? Are you working?
In a mountain
There we
stream
go.
is my idea of a good time.
After the dance, they went straight home. The hostess taught the new maid to serve.
Adding fast leads to wrong sums. The show was a flop from the very start.
Yeah, it's not awful, but it's not great, that's for sure.
A large size of stock is hard to sell. The juice of lemons makes fine punch.
Serve the hot rum to the tired heroes.
Those words were the cue for the actor to leave. A yacht slid around the point into the bay.
Dull and quite stupid. Thieves who rob friends deserve jail.
The frosty air passed through
Even the worst will
Saw is a tool used for making boards. Wax moved on well-oiled wheels.
try to have the court decide the case.
The box was thrown beside the parked truck. The hogs were fed chopped corn and garbage.
Much of the story
Then, the sun came up to light the eastern sky.
The two met while playing on the stand. Show is a flop from the very start.
There was water in the cellar after the heavy rain. They're not listed in the new phone book.
A large size.
The juice of lemons makes fine punch.
smoke poured out of every crack. Serve the hot rum to the heroes.
Those words were the cue for the actor to leave. A yacht slid around the point into the bay.
The place seems dull and
Frosty air passed through the coat. The crooked maze failed to fool the mouse.
He wrote the last novel there at the inn. Even the worst will beat his low score.
The tool used making boards. The wagon moved on well-oiled wheels.
Try to have the court decide the case.
Push back each time they attack.
The box was thrown beside the parked truck. The hogs were...
Okay, so it works on the incoming side. Now let's record the testing messages and see what it sounds like.
4 new messages and 21 old messages. Message 1.
This is the test on talk, which probably sounds just fine. I just switched it to speakerphone. I'm speaking at exactly this one. Not exactly the same, but as close as I can get to approximately the same distance from the handset and at approximately the same volume. Now I'm speaking about 6 inches away from the handset. I just turned it back off speakerphone. This is about 6 inches away from me. I'm going to now move to 12 inches away. I'm going to set down the table. Okay, it's on the table. It's still on talk, and it's about a foot away from me. Now it's on speakerphone at the same distance. And I'm sure it was awful, so there's no beating around the bush, so I'm just going to quickly go through the other handsets to make sure the microphone transmits. This was handset number 4. This is handset number 2. And speakerphone, that stinks. This is handset number 3. Stinker phone. And this is what's being labeled as handset number 1. And one last test of this stinker phone.
Message 2.
This message is to hear what it sounds like when they hang up using the buttons.
Message 3.
This message is to hear what it sounds like when it's put back into the base.
Message 4.
And this message is to hear what it sounds like when it's put back into the cradle.
End of messages.
So no real surprise there. The speakerphone is just as bad, so I guess it just stinks. And it really is totally a software issue, because even when I had the telephone on the table and I was speaking into it on talk mode, it was clear. It wasn't until it went on speakerphone that it was all garbled and messed up. So for whatever reason, the software programming for the speakerphone is just not right. Now, I do want to call and hear what it sounds like if we talk into one of these phones on speaker. Just one button. Yeah. Okay. Testing. I don't hear any feedback on my end. Unlike with the waterproof phone where there was all that feedback. So it does seem like the only problem is the pickup on speaker, and then it's got a little bit of feedback here too. Feedback, 1, 2, 3. Seemed worse on the outgoing line. Oh, the batteries. Let's see what kind of batteries it has here. It has the 300 milliamps. And these batteries are about 3 years old. So it'll be interesting to see how long these batteries last. The batteries seem like they're still okay, but really they'd have to be left off the cradle or used for a while to get a good idea as to how long the batteries hold up over time. Quite frankly, I don't really care, because if the lifespan per charge is not as long as it should be, and the speakerphone isn't useful, and the button layout is wonky and so forth and what have you, just use a corded phone. So anyways, that's going to be it for these. The Panasonic KX-TGD560. Really, I'm not sure how Panasonic produced such a deplorable piece of equipment.